Welcome in Tuesday edition of Hot Ice. We got a special guest. We kind of hinted at this early in the year as like a fourth, but it worked out today. Carl has a tryout with the Reds, so good luck to him. Obviously, we got Hubs filling in. Did a little Syracuse banter beforehand, which we won't get to, which is always my favorite. Hubs, when he like is kind of half paying attention when you ask a question and then gets really mad at you and goes right in the mic. So that's always my favorite. Hubs. Want to welcome you in, Hubs. And let's get right to it. The reason we kind of brought you in, obviously, two Yankee fans. I'm outnumbered here. Yankees, Blue Jays, right? Like probably the best two teams in the American League. Some of the best teams in the league. Glaber show last night. I guess we could like recap a little of that and then like start to go down the list here. We're going to be heavy Yankees, Blue Jays based on everything going on. So like what was the takeaway of last night? And like I know you tweeted some of the graphics. Like what's your big takeaway as far as how Glaber's been doing and how that relates, I guess, to the success?
Yeah, well, first of all, you're like a half like Blue Jays fan, I feel like. I feel like the last like 2 or 3 years, you're always on their futures. You're always like riding them.
Just last year, just last year, I got fucked on that last game of the year against the Red Sox. I still say they would have got to the ALCS. They really fucked themselves. But you're right, half. They got cool hats. I'll give them that.
Yeah, they do have cool hats. No, last night was big. 10-game winning streak, 17-6. Never saw this coming, especially the way they started the year. The hitting's turned around. The pitching's been really what has taken them off. And like their bullpen's so elite. The starting pitching from top to bottom, even with Cole coming on here, like just been really, really good. The biggest two things that really are the changes from last year, they're playing elite defense. Like they're not giving games away in the field. And that comes with moving on from Gary Sanchez, moving Glaber back to second, having a guy who can play shortstop. It's night and day in the field. And then base running too, as like they were running into so many outs last year. They haven't done that this year. They're taking the extra base. They're doing a good job with that, not getting thrown out too much. It's nice to see. It's a real baseball team. They're playing great. Last night, that was a real test. The 9-game winning streak came against, the Guardians, Royals. It's just, no one's going to blow you away, but you got to beat the bad teams. But you go into Toronto last night, they treated that game like a playoff game almost, and they won it, and it was great. And they got to roll it again tonight to make it 11.
Yeah, that's the thing too, Ev. I know you never really gave up, but he touched on some things that I definitely like wrote down. And what I like, you look at this team, you got to be biased with the Yankees. Like I know everybody was saying win total under, and like, hey, they're not built to succeed. And don't get me wrong, like they did beat up on the bad teams, but that's what you need to do to stack your record. Like we've seen a ton of teams lose to bad teams. So what's your takeaway, I guess, like after the slow start from the Yankees of like how optimistic you are now? Well, you were always optimistic, but I guess from a third party, like why should people be like, hey, you know what? The Yankees are a real deal, even though they've been beating bad teams.
No, I mean, Hubs hit the nail on the head that I think this year they've been more like well-rounded. I think, I know I kind of said this a few times, and it was kind of the tale of last year that the team, like, this Yankee team, the last couple of years, they've been like very streaky. They've kind of been like consistent during seasons where they go on these like big runs, and you gotta kind of enjoy it while it's here. Like I'm not hoping for it to go down, but like the last couple of years, the team kind of been a little like roller coaster. They're like you have these big like streaky runs that they're on right now, and they get cold. I mean, it's still all about the playoffs. Obviously, it's super early in the year, so we can't focus on that quite yet, obviously. But I like what they're doing. Like it's kind of just. Obviously, like the Yankees talk the last like whatever 5, 10, however long you want to say. It's just the team's not built to win the playoffs. But I'm like Hub said, the starting pitch has been really good, and honestly, it really was last year. Like the lineup last year was bad for like big chunks of the season, but the pitching was great, and the pitching's been lights out, especially during the stretch. Like Montgomery threw great last night. Like I think we've had some really like, good arms. Like Montgomery, I love him always. Like Montgomery's been the guy that doesn't get the run support. I mean, He didn't get a ton last night, but I mean, at least enough to win. But I mean, I feel good. Like I said it before the year. Like I think I like teams like where I feel like people just like threw the white towel on the Yankees before the season even started. We have Frank the Tank singing songs about the Yankees under win total, which to me is like just smash the over. That guy's when it's been right about anything. I love Frank the Tank. I love you, but I mean, this is kind of just what like I'm glad the way they're playing. I like them tonight. I mean, they're getting plus money. That literally like never happens.
Yeah. So that's the next one. We'll definitely get into the side of tonight. But Hubs, he brings us. I mean, you would say Cole hasn't been like terrific, Two, like you guys love the starting.
His last 2 starts, 0 earned runs. Granted, against bad teams, he hasn't been terrific. He has a 3 ERA. It looks nice, but like he's got to pitch against good teams. He's got to go into Boston this year and shove. Like I just need to see that from Garrett Cole, and he has not pitched well in Boston in his career. He needs to do that.
Yeah, well, listen, without a doubt, but like you guys love the starting pitching, and your ace and your horse hasn't been terrific. Like he's passing the class. There's no doubt he's going to fail, but I think that's maybe an upside for the Yankees too. You know what I mean? Which I can't believe I'm saying, but
yeah, the rest of the guys are picking him up. Like Nestor Cortez has been fantastic. Jordan Montgomery is just rock solid. Tyone, he pitches tonight. He's been really good. Who am I? Severino. The numbers are probably the worst of the 5 from him, but you at least are seeing healthy, throwing like gas again. The changeup's disgusting. He'll come into his own. He's obviously been missing a lot of time. There's a little bit of rust there, but he's had some moments that have looked like vintage Sevy-esque, which is exciting to see early on here. But yeah, the rest of the rotation picking up Cole has been nice to see. And obviously when you have a guy like Michael King in the pen who can come out after a guy doesn't give you the length you need, and he gives you 2 to 3 innings, just unhittable baseball. Guys like that, Clay Holmes, they have so many weapons in that pen. It really just adds to the whole staff being great. I wanted to touch on 2 guys, though, that are really different, have really changed the offense from last year, because the offense was putrid last year. I want to say they were 17th in runs scored. One is a healthy DJ LeMahieu. That guy was dealing with a hernia all year long, never sat out, but he just could not lift the baseball. Everything was just hit right into the ground, rolled over. He was just useless essentially at the plate. Like he just wasn't himself. You're seeing now a fully healthy DJ LeMahieu, who is the table setter again, the top of the Yankees lineup, just driving the baseball, knocking guys in with runners in scoring position, which what he was so good at in 2019 and 2020. He's healthy again, and you're seeing a full season now of Anthony Rizzo, who no longer has COVID. His season was derailed last year when he got COVID. He was never the same. You saw that, the brief stint with in Miami against the Marlins, and then kind of got COVID and never kind of recovered from there. This year, he's leading the league in home runs. He's driving the baseball. He's pulling the baseball. He's taking advantage of the short porch and right. He brings that added defense too that I spoke on earlier, where like guys can make bad throws. He bails them out. He's such a smart player. Having those 2 guys in the lineup for the full year, assuming they stay healthy, does wonders for the whole team.
It seems like it. It also seems like Judge is, you guys are carrying on Judge. I know the contract's kind of looming over, but he seems like he's going to lower his head, not be a baby about it, and he's playing for it. So
he's got a lot to play for. So he's
without a doubt, yeah. And if he carries you, like the fan base is going to get on his side too. So it makes sense. I'll give him a lot of credit that he's sucking it up and like playing. He's not being a baby about it, holding out. I will give definitely that's commendable for sure, especially this day and age. Ev, you touched on a little tonight. Yankees plus money, plus 112 going against Manoah. The over/under is 7.5. Which way do you lean on this? And I'll give Hubs, I guess, the floor on a Yankee play.
Well, I guess if we want to just get into it, just kind of transition. Yankees are my dog of the day.
Okay.
Listen, I'll ride the hot hand. Like I've said it to you before. Kind of obviously, me and Rico, we talk gambling like every day the last few years. Like this Yankees team, like when they're hot, they're hot. Like just like stay on them. You don't know when to get off sometimes, but like they're hot right now. If you're gonna give me plus money on the Yankees the way they're playing right now, I'm gonna take it every time. I said it a couple weeks ago on the show with the Blue Jays. They're a team like obviously I'll never bet against the Yankees. They're my team, but if the Blue Jays are plus money in most circumstances, I'm gonna take them as well. Like they're just a good baseball team. So you're gonna give me the Yankees plus money. Tyone has been rocks. Obviously, they have the pitching edge tonight. That's why they're the favorites. But Tyone's been rock solid. So I'll take the Yankees. I think I was able to get it this morning plus 118. Like I'll take that every time. They're a 10-game winning streak.
Yeah, it's funny. That's exactly what I was thinking while you were saying it. I'm like, there's certain things where it's a principle. Remember a couple of weeks ago we were looking at Steven Matz and Max Scherzer. And we were like, oh, he's a small favorite. Like you got it. Like you're only laying a little here. I got to go get that guy. Same with the Blue Jays. You're going to give me the Blue Jays plus money. The Yankees right now are in territory where Yankees are never plus. You know what I mean? Like that's just a principle bet. Hubs, I assume you kind of side the same way. Do you have a play on the total? Do you like a guy to get a hit? You guys have like a short porch parlay? Is there anything really anybody can get exotic with here in this game?
So 10-game winning streak's great. I'm nervous about tonight. I don't feel the same way as I do Big Ev does. Manoah owns the Yankees. 3 career starts. He's 2-0, 17 and 2/3 innings with a 1.53 ERA. There is not one Yankee on this team who has an extra base hit against him in their matchups. I want to say combined, it's like they're like a 180 team. I have it here. 180. Yeah, 8 for 49 combined, the whole lineup. He owns the Yankees. My play for tonight is the under. I think I when I texted Marty late last night, I think it was 8. Now it's 7.5. People are catching on. I think this is a low-scoring game because Tyone's pitching well too. I think they have a pretty well-rested Penn tonight. King should be able to go. Pretty much everybody should be able to go. I'm expecting something. I would guess Yankees 4-2. Something around there, maybe 3-1. This is a tight game, low scoring, a lot of zeros on the board. That's my best bet is the under 7.5 today.
Okay. All right, perfect. So then real quick, I thought Ev was going to be on this because it kind of fishy, but I'll be honest, the lineup worries me a little bit, but I'm going to take the Giants plus 117. Rodon's been terrific, right? The Dodgers are throwing Urias. The lineup hits against them. Now, obviously, Slater and Belt being in there would have helped a little bit more, but Crawford hits them. Low-scoring game. I might only need 3. I might only need 2. I'll take a Giants lineup who does the right thing, moves guys over. I got to go with the Giants out late as plus 117. We touched on Ev. He's going to go with the Yankees. Hubs, did you have a dog of the day? Are you chasing a plus sign?
Yeah, I like the Rangers. I like taking a stab there against the Phillies. Phillies at home. Line isn't. It's a little fish. I thought they'd be a bigger favorite with Suarez on the mound against Gray. It's 160. So I think you can catch the Rangers around like 135, 140. I just like that lineup. And if you can give me that team against Suarez hasn't had the best of starts to the year. I think his ERA is sitting around like the mid 4s. I like that lineup in Philly. The Seager, you want to take a stab on him and hit a home run? Sure, that's not what I'm going to suggest, but it could happen. But I like the Rangers. I think they can outslug their way in Philly tonight.
Okay. I think I inherited Ev's, I can't get the Phillies right. I know he was chasing them for a whole series, so that's just the way it goes. Best bet. Hubs is on the under. Yankees, Toronto. I like that as well. I'm going to go with, and this will be like a little bit of a segue. I'm going to go with Minnesota, Baltimore, no runs in the first inning, minus 136. Joe Ryan and Bruce Zimmerman on the mound. Combined 2.1 ERA. If I can get through Buxton in the first, I'm okay. The other thing too that drives me nuts is now this no runs first inning thing has become the it thing. And please stop calling it a nerfy. Please.
Oh my God, I hate that. Yo, I saw it everywhere. Time last week and I almost I was like, there's no way this is what this stands for, right? Oh, disgusting.
Wait, who called it a nerfy?
Every TikTok guy on your scroll, dude. Every TikTok guy in the world.
Terrible.
Oh,
it's
no.
terrible. Dude,
And
you're right,
it's
though.
all the cringe stuff with the music, and then certain guys, no free ads. I'm sure being where he does that music and he's sprinkle it, the worst, dude. The worst.
Dude, you're so right though. No runs in the first used to be a sacred bet, and now it's just it's too overexposed now. I hate it. It used to be such a fun thing to do, back in the day. Playoff games or whatever, the early round playoff games that would be during the day and it would be during school or whatever, and you just take a bathroom break or whatever and just you just watch the first
That's
inning.
Yeah, the best part is you're out. My best bet is going to be either win or loss in the first inning. I don't love all the sides tonight, so even the Giants, I'm worried about that lineup, but that's the way it goes. Ev, what do you got for a best bet?
So this one, I don't know I'm curious to see how you're going to feel about this one, Rico. I like the Braves in game 1. They've kind of the Braves have kind of just had the Mets number a little bit. The line, I would say it's a good pitching matchup where Carrasco was bad in his last time. Morton just hasn't been good this season. I think he's kind of due for a bounce back here. So I like him in the first game. They're plus 102. I think the Braves are. And this is one that I will say, I think we had a little doubleheader segment last week, the week before with Carl. Where if they listen, the first game is my best bet. If they lose the first one, hit the second one. But it's just tough. It's just tough to sweep doubleheaders. But I like the Braves in the first game.
Yeah, he said that, and then the Mets went out and took a doubleheader from a good Giants
They
team,
did
I
do it, but
believe.
overall, they did do that. But overall, it is tough to sweep the
I think
doubleheaders like that. And the
I
Braves
think
are a good team.
I do think it's a little mental. I think the Braves might have our no. The Mets team's different. Don't get me wrong, and they cut Cano, and I love Buck, and I love him standing up to guys. I'm not like doing the parade down Fifth Avenue or Seventh Avenue yet, but I think the Braves own us a little bit. This is gonna be a tough spot. I would back the Braves. The Mets are gonna have their work cut out for them with Carrasco as well. I like that. I like the Braves. The hit
So
parade,
3-10 start for people.
3-10 start. All right,
The first one's
the
at
hit
3-10.
No sweat. The hit parade's due. I know we don't like losing streaks. We're on a losing streak. We got to get back to basics. We got to get this done. I'm on Charlie Blackmon. Okay, it has a price. The price is plus 170 when we add up all three guys. Carl's is Taylor Ward of the Angels going against Michael Wacha. He's never faced him, but he's fading Wacha. I love Blackmon. 5 of 8, 625 against Feedy. Triple and a homer, so he's got deep power. The Rockies, the total is 11 against the Nats. That game's going to score some runs. Give me Blackmon with like 6 at-bats, 1 out of 6. That's all I need. I'm putting him in. Carl's putting Taylor Ward. And Ev, who are you putting in?
Listen, I've been the whole time we've done this. I've been the don't overthink a guy. I just took Juan Soto. Give me the good hitter that hits the top of the order. I'm not like overthink this thing. I'm not trying to just give me a really good hitter that bats 1, 2, 3. He bats second. Like we just need hits. Just one hit. That's all it takes. One hit.
I love that we do when we do it in the same. Yep, same game too. 11. Like your guy's gonna get bats.
We're still positive units. Like we're positive units on the year. We've lost the last few. We're due to get back. This is the one we get back.
Definitely. Hubs, if people wanted to get crazy and put a fourth in there, who would be anybody on the board or more so a Yankee that you think does get a hit tonight?
I struggle to suggest a Yankee because Manoah is just so good. But, I mean, if you're going to ride a hot hand, I mean, if Glaber's in, I just don't know. You don't even know who the Yankees are going to play. That's the thing. Like, sometimes, it's rest roulette or whatever. Glaber's been hot. Glaber's been red hot. He's hitting like 350 over his last 8 or whatever. He's in there. I don't hate riding his hot hand, but I would not feel confident. Like, Yankees can win this game tight, but I just don't see a lot of offense coming out tonight, so it's tough to put a lot of faith in one guy to get a hit, I feel like.
Yeah, that's fine. No, I mean, listen, people add to the parlays. We love to see the plus tickets, Barstool Sportsbook. Extra innings, I got 2 quick things. I mean, at what point can you defend John Sterling anymore? What are we doing? Come on, he didn't throw the ball back. He's just denying everything. He said he didn't throw the ball back. He fucking stand and threw it back.
I love Susan was like, he caught it.
Go ahead. Yeah, because he caught the ball, John. He caught the ball.
This is already the second time on the show I've had to defend this. I'll say what I said last time, Rico. On the show, we don't win all our picks. The man took a gamble with the ball in the air and he came up short again. He missed. He missed for like the 3rd or 4th time this season. Unfortunately,
this guy's going to lead.
It was off a Blue Jays bat.
He's going to be in extra innings every time. Here's the part no one's talking about. I don't think it was a home run. Watch the clip again.
No, I think a home run.
I thought it was short.
It wasn't a home run.
It wasn't a home run because he caught it, but I still think it was short.
It was. Definitely was.
Yeah,
he's
doubly wrong. And then the last one, ESPN gave out their grades based on teams. So I had one who's predicted to do really well. The Padres have an A. Okay, they have no Snell, no Tatis. They're plus 450 to win the NL West. Are you guys buying that? Like, is that worth looking at, or it's just the Dodgers?
Yeah, they're getting Clevenger back today too.
I saw that.
I love I love watching him pitch. I'm happy he's healthy. We'll see. 2 Tommy John. We'll see. It's always a gamble, 50-50 basically, if you can do anything in the league. But Tyone's showing you can. I don't hate it. I said at the beginning of the year, obviously that Dodgers lineup is nasty, right? The rotation doesn't blow me away. Like, relying on Clayton Kershaw to be your 2 all year, I don't know. It doesn't blow with no Bauer there. It doesn't blow me away. I wouldn't be stunned at the end of the day. Like, you're taking 450 for a reason. Like, the Dodgers are the favorite there, but the Padres, they're going to get Tatis back too. They can hang there.
Okay. Ev, you buying that one?
I mean, I don't hate to see. I'm a Giants guy. I still like. I know they're not sexy on paper. The pitching's really fucking good. They just win baseball games. Like I get, like they're not sexy. The Padres have the big bats. Like Tatis will be back. Like I get it 100%. But excuse me, I'm having a cough attack here. I think I just trust the. I think I do trust the Giants a bit more. What no? They might probably be even been a little bit higher. Yeah,
I can pull up the Giants.
The Giants confuse me, man. Like I know we're doing this again because last year they just proved it all year. It's like, when is it going to stop? It doesn't. But like you look at their lineup, it's like, how are these guys putting up this many runs? What's going on?
Giants are plus 425. So basically, I guess if you don't buy the Padres, I'm saying buy the Giants. This one's the last one. We'll get you out on this one. So 3 teams kind of underachieving, right? Based on the grades. Okay, Braves C-, Astros C-, Cards C-. Who's the best team long term that you're like, don't worry about it, don't hit the panic button? Ev, I think you're going to say it's the Cardinals.
I'd say Houston.
You know they're my team.
Yeah. So, well, I put it this way then. So, is there anybody worth panicking on it, or they're all okay? Because I think the Braves are going to be fine, obviously too. It's like
the Braves did get like crazy hot to end the year. Like they were average for a long time, like last year. They weren't a juggernaut per se.
Right.
Now they did get off their slow start. You look at a lineup though, and you get Acuna back in there, and Olsen. It's like, oh my god, like this is a fucking lineup here. The pitching, can it hold up? I'd be more concerned of all those 3 teams about the Braves, and less concerned about. I think the Astros will be totally fine.
I do as well.
Because the AL West, the Angels aren't going to be a 625 winning percentage team. Like, come on, that's just not going to happen. The Mariners will do this thing. Maybe it's different this year, but the last 20 seasons have given me no reason to believe that. Granted, this is probably the most talented team they've had in a while. But they'll probably fade off, and then the A's and Rangers. It's Houston's division. They'll beat up on that division. They'll have a bunch of wins. Is this the best Houston team? They're definitely inferior to prior Houston teams that we've seen. Granted, they've lost a few really big pieces. But like overall, they'll win that division and be in the playoffs.
Yeah. Ev, Cardinals are plus 175 to win the Central.
Yeah, I mean, who are the Brewers still the favorite? Obviously the favorite, right?
Yeah.
Minus 195.
The Brewers just don't like. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like just that, like their kind of like lack of playoff success. The Brewers just like don't do it for me. I don't know. Like I know they have like obviously Burns is really good and like Woodruff, like they have like good pitching, and I don't know. They just don't do it for me. I don't know what it is. And the thing with the Cardinals is too that really their lineup hasn't showed up. Like Mikolas has been like really good. Like they've had some like solid starting pitching.
O'Neill hasn't been like torrid though. Yeah, I mean they've so it's. Listen, it's just always worth looking at these markets. It's like stocks, like if you can get a team right before they blow up, you get a team right before you think they're going to collapse, like fading the Angels. Like it's interesting. It's a long season. That's why we do it. Great
Brewers,
show.
I will say real quick, the Brewers, Christian Yelich, they go to me as far as Yelich does. Like Yelich hitting has a sub 700 OPS, and like the last 2 seasons he had a 700. Like what are we doing? Like he's got to play like an MVP for them. I think a prediction for me, I'm going to throw out a little prediction here. They will go and get a bat at the deadline, and I feel like it's going to be like a Trey Mancini type guy. Trey Mancini needs to get off the Orioles. That guy it's just he's got to be miserable there, and he's a piece that they can definitely move and get a prospect or 2 for. I could see him ending up in Milwaukee at some point. I feel like a good fit there.
All right, yeah, great show. Like we said, hit parades at plus 170. Check out Hubs on Short Porch. Perfect day to watch some baseball. Enjoy it. Hubs, thanks for jumping on. Great show, fellas. We'll see you out there.
Absolutely. Thanks, man.